walk through his beautiful grounds, but he was very unhappy. For his wife had taken a long journey, and he didn't know when she would be back. So one day he stopped walking, and he said to himself, I'm going to bring my wife back to me using the most powerful magician in the land. So he called the most powerful magician, who came at once, and said, How can I help you, Emperor? And the Emperor said, What can you do that is so unique and special? And the magician said, Well, I can create darkness and lightning, I can create rain from a cloudless sky. And the Emperor said, Okay, then I will give you your biggest task of all. You must bring my wife back to me from all the way across the world before the moon can be seen in the evening sky. And if you don't, you'll be in serious trouble. With that, he turned around, walked back to the palace, and retired to his room. The magician slowly turned around and began walking home. How am I ever going to do this, he thought. But as he walked, he noticed interesting shapes on the ground below as the sun passed overhead. And he suddenly had a brilliant idea. So he ran inside of his house. He got a piece of leather from an animal that had died, and he carved a beautiful image of the emperor's wife into that piece of leather. And then he came outside holding it in his outstretched arms. And then he made two magical things happen. First, the light from a candle arose from the ground. Next, a screen rose up directly in front of him, just as the sun had set. He was now ready to call the emperor forth. He was so excited, the emperor came rushing across, but he didn't see his wife at all. What's going on, he thought to himself. But at that very moment, the magician turned to the side, and the light from the candle hit the puppet in his hand, casting a beautiful image of the emperor's wife on the screen in front of him. And as he slowly moved from side to side, it truly did appear as if the emperor's wife had indeed come home, if only in the form of a shadow. And that is how traditional shadow puppetry might have begun. So very long ago. The end.